Evening all, so let's do some more kicking dust. Now, what we're going to do today, this was just, I guess it was the most incredible battle we fought for a while. It was against Maphia Corporation. You've spelled it wrong, by the way. I'm kidding. This is against Maphia Corporation. Really, really good bunch of guys. They always bring it. Their gangs are always very strong, and they're a great team to fight against. It's always a pleasure to fight against good opponents, and this was just an absolute blast. And we had a number of other dudes in on other corporations, and you'll see at the end. But this was, I think, one of those kind of very close, heated. Pretty much you couldn't be pushing this harder either way, pretty much. And you'll see what I mean as we go through this. It was just insane. Now you'll notice I'm using the Flaylock. The Flaylock is underpowered, and I'm using it just because I guess I'm trying a few fits here. They're not great, and I've got to admit, I don't like the Flaylock a great deal. I think I'd rather have my shotgun, but again, this is just the fits I was using. Anyway, so I think really what we're going to, I guess, focus on today is, the squad play. We're certainly going to look at how good the Flaylock is. Also, we're going to talk about how quick these suits are. I think there's something to be said about not tanking with shield or armor, but tanking with speed. And I see a few people are kind of getting this concept, but again, it surprises me how few people are doing what I do, which is basically I run a relatively weak suit, but I evade whenever something comes along. I'm kind of running away. This could be, I was actually thinking about it, this could be because I use mouse and keyboard, and I think when you use mouse and keyboard, it's a bit easier, I guess, to zigzag and jump and turn and get the kind of quick aerial acrobatics that you see me doing in this video. And I think certainly that seems to maybe contribute to why there's not a lot of speed tankers. I think a lot of people do kind of rely on shield and armor tanks pretty much exclusively, which I think is a shame. I mean, I do kind of fly the flag pretty heavily for speed tanking. So as you can see, we got beat back from C pretty extensively. Yes, I'm running away because A, I'm not stupid, and B, the Flaylock is too underpowered to take on anything. So I basically have done a runner to get out of town. Now, I think this is probably one of the big things about the Flaylock, that I think it's not a very good gun. I wouldn't recommend it for others to use. It's weak. Its range is pretty poor. I think the shotgun has better finishing power. So I don't know. It's a tricky one to do with a straight face. Basically, it's not a particularly great gun. But as you can see, it's got some power. If you're pretty accurate with it, it's not terrible, I guess. So I think this is certainly one of those things that you have to kind of pick your gun with care. I think a lot of people, again, it's astonishing how many people still run ARs. I think because it's the default gun, I guess, but it does feel that there's just an absolute huge tidal wave of people out there who just pretty much still run the assault rifle, which and now the TAC AR has been nerfed. I haven't seen anybody using them, which is funny, because maybe it shows you that people have wasted a few quid on modified mouses, ha ha ha, and maybe it shows you that some people just, I don't know, maybe the changes are about right, because if you see the odd person using it, they're probably using it as designed. So it's a tricky one. I certainly think the TAC AR was pretty broken. If you're not sure actually what they changed on it, they reduced the rate of fire, which obviously meant you couldn't spam it particularly crazily. They reduced the clip size to 18, and your hip firing capability or accuracy is close to comical. So if your opponent is kind of in front of you and you try and hip fire, chances are you're going to hit wildlife and birds more than the the person directly in front of you. So I guess it had to be done, because personally I wouldn't have changed a great deal on it. What I would have changed would just be the rate of fire. I'd have capped that so that people can't use these macro mouses. And I've got a kind of library of people who I've got on film using TAC ARs, Devoltacs, glues, etc., and they're firing faster than the normal Devol AR. It's almost kind of amusing to think that they're using their fingers to do that, because if they are, they must have very happy partners. Anyway, I think there's certainly something to be said about the changes that have been done as a good thing. I think it's certainly opened up the game somewhat. You're seeing more scrambler rifles, you're seeing the normal ARs being used again, which is good because they're not as strong. I'm dying a lot less. In fact, I'm dying a huge amount less because I think the reality is that the devolved hack AR, when sprayed quickly as it used to be, 2 or 3 shots would kill me dead. Whereas now the normal AR is going to need probably 10, 15 shots to kill me. So and to be honest, if they get 10 or 15 shots off at me, then I'm doing something wrong. So I think that I'm definitely more survivable, but again, not infinitely survivable. I think the Mimitar suit is still the best suit, I think, for me, because again, it needs that buffer of shield plus the speed, which is always nice. But again, frustration, as you saw there, I keep getting caught on stuff. It's my own fault. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm stupid. I keep running past diagonal objects and things that kind of shin height. Which unfortunately snags me and kills me, or slows me down rather. So, bit annoying, but I think it's nice. The game is feeling a lot more balanced with that TAC AR change. I think the next thing that possibly needs to have a look, need to have a look at, is perhaps the Caldari Logi, because again, I think it's. I don't like nerfing stuff. I think that sometimes you have to kind of just maybe change the use of it. I think Logi should have a massive shield. But maybe they just need it kind of tuned down a bit. Maybe I don't know, maybe it sounds tough, but maybe they only have like a sidearm. I mean, that's terrible, I guess. But they need to do maybe just that one change that just makes it a bit easier. Maybe literally just taking a mid slot off it so you can't put as much shield on it. Maybe it's as simple as that. But I just feel that the Caldari Logi is probably just that. It's the wrong side of balance, but I wouldn't say it's terribly OP. All the other suits, I say, seem quite good. Still have a nightmare killing Galante suits. I don't know what it was. I had trouble shotgunning them. I'm having trouble flaylocking them. And again, just to remind you, this flaylock is awful. I'm not a fan of it. I think if you're thinking of a sidearm to maybe use, stick with SMG. The SMG is infinitely better than the flaylock. And I think it's one of these things that I think. Look at this. Look at it. It's just shameful. It's a terrible gun. I don't even know why I'm using it. I think it's just, again, I need to sort my bits out. But I think, when it comes to the suits, they do feel quite balanced, I'd say. And I think it's just, you get used to a particular fit, I guess. Logis are particularly good, though, and I was tempted to go for one, but I think I've held back. Just because I like the speed. I've got, obviously a couple of other characters that I run on, and every time I don't use CEO, I miss the speed. I really do. It just, this is the way I play my game. I play it at 1,000,000 miles an hour, or rather 10.5 meters a second, in my mind, because that helps me. That's pretty much how I play. So I'm used to running, jumping, basically, being an incredible gymnast in this game. And when I don't have this character, I suffer from it because, I've got a slow, plodding assault suit, or I've even got a heavy. I mean, that's just terrible. And I think I do miss it. And I think, if I could just find a gun that worked really well, and again, flaylock is pretty awful, I would be quite comfortable, I think, with just sticking with scout suit on all 3 characters, to be honest with you. But again, I don't do that. I mean, again, I do try and play everything, if only for the content of the videos. It's just good to show you the different guns, the different suits. Admittedly, I haven't done a lot of that lately, but I think I'm going to certainly start to try to do that, because I think it's worth showing you some of the other suits as I run them. And again, I quite rate Galante. I do like the Galante suits generally. ARSE seem to be very popular at the moment, I think, just because of scrambler rifles and that heat build-up bonus, which does seem to make a difference. I will have a look at scrambler rifles, and also I will have a look at Nova knives very soon. Again, not a fan of Nova knives. I think they're better than this flaylock, which is gimped. It's broken, seriously. But I think the Nova knife is quite an interesting weapon. I'll certainly give it a go. But yeah, I think it's a particularly good one. So there we go. Look at this match. This was close as anything. We lost massively on clones, but look at that. We just managed to win the game, the round, I guess. And it was one of those incredible battles. It was pretty much 100 miles an hour. I think nobody was giving a quarter. Everybody kept spawning in pretty much expensive suits. So, a huge, massive wedge of ISK just got smoked into the ether in this battle right here. But that's good. This is why we play the game. It's all about taking it to some of the better corps in the game and really seeing what you can do. And I did 17 and 7. I'm pretty proud of that. That was a phenomenally tough round. And again, it was with the flaler, which is just massively gimped. So I think that was just pure luck that I managed to get that, which is what is with effectively a very bad weapon. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick reminder, squadb.com is up. Go and have a look at it. It's our website. We also have a forum, so if you fancy ship posting in some of our public forum areas, you're more than welcome. Go and sign up and let's have a forum post go. We also have Twitter. Don't forget that. CO Pyrex at Twitter. Come follow me on that. And also we have like.squadb. If you go there and like us, I would be eternally grateful. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.